Hey guys, about to play a match with our favorable wins deck in the two-man queues, and it looks like we have an opponent. So let's see what happens here. It's kind of a strange hand. I've never had one quite like this. I think it's probably still a keep though, just because we can represent so much damage so quickly. All the, seems pretty likely we draw into some more action. See, Delver? No, Thoughtseize. Ooh, well that ruins our lives. Made keeping a hand like this a little less desirable than usual. It's already not an amazing hand, but getting Thoughtseized on turn 1 makes it a lot worse. Yeah, I figured he'd hit favorable wins. Alright, we drew some removal, which I don't mind. And we'll end our turn. We have a lot of other Anthem effects, so hopefully we can draw one of those like next turn. This could be a Delver deck of some kind. Yeah, it looks pretty likely that it is. Our opponent's starting himself out at lower life. Probably can help us out. Serum Visions, okay. Seeming more and more like a Delver deck. Alright, not exactly what we wanted, but that's okay. Alright, he's got counter magic up now, and he's probably ready to use it on a Spectral Procession. But I guess let's make him use it. Mana Leak. What a surprise, right? I had no idea that was going to happen. Snapcaster Mage. Thoughtseize number 2. Pretty brutal, so he's going to hit our Path to Exile now. Drops him to 12, though, so if we draw some explosive cards, like that one, for example, so explosive. Yeah. Not going so well. We've not managed. We've drawn one spell since the beginning of the game when we had a hand that had 5. Oh, there's a spell. It's probably going to get Cryptic Commanded this time. But I think it's best to draw all these things out of his hand because we can't win otherwise. If we just keep passing the turn and waiting for him to tap out, he doesn't have to tap out. So, alright, he's going to Mana Leak it with his Snapcaster Mage. Okay. We just need to not keep a hand with 2 spells in it against an opponent who has Thoughtseize, so all we can draw are lands too, which is really rough. We've drawn 4 spells now, I guess. Well, 2 since the beginning. Had a 5-land hand, and we've drawn mostly lands since then. So it seems likely these Snapcaster Mages beat us to death. Okay, Spectral Procession. We can at least resolve that now, unless he has Mana Leak. If he has Cryptic Command, I mean, even if he has Mana Leak, we can resolve it. If he has Cryptic Command, we're in more trouble. Looks like he probably has Cryptic Command. No Deprive. Alright. This game has been so much fun. Okay. Let's try to Oblivion Ring one of these guys. Although if he destroys our enchantment, he gets to flashback again, but it'll buy us a little more time if we do that. So I think that's relevant. Alright, so we'll hit one of them. He may just destroy it now and get another snap, but, you know, we're dead anyway, no matter what happens, basically. Like I said, our opponent losing so much life is pretty good for us if we actually get a good aggressive hand. Yeah, we scoop. Drew way too many lands in that game, and we kept a 5 land opening hand, so pretty hard to win that one. So Celestial Crusader is good against him. It can't be countered, so I think we cut 2 Angels of Jubilation. Relic of Progenitus isn't bad against him, but I don't think it makes a big enough difference to be running at main board. Negate's worth considering, I think, but I mean, chances are he doesn't have that many permanents that worry us, so I guess I would rather have Negate than Oblivion Ring. And maybe cut 1 path for another Negate. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Alright, should improve our chances somewhat, especially if we can not draw as horribly as we did in the first game. It's a good chance we do, though. Maybe, no, not really, actually. That's about as bad as it can be. Alright, I would like to play first. This is much better than our last one was. And we'll keep it. Judge's Familiar is very good against an opponent packing Mana Leak and stuff like that. And we have the pretty nice curve of Familiar, Honor of the Pure, Lingering Souls. We don't have black yet, which kind of sucks, but we do have a Crusader who he can't counter, which is incredibly relevant against this guy. So I'm liking the looks of our hand for the most part. Opponent trying to decide whether he wants to mulligan his. All right, he mulliganed to 6 and then kept. We will lead with Judge's Familiar in the turn. He's going to Thoughtseize us again and probably take away our Honor of the Pure, I would guess. No, he's scrying. That's better news. I mean, Serum Visioning, which does scry, but... All right. 1 on top and 1 on bottom, so he got something that he wanted. Yeah, we'll play the Honor of the Pure this way. Like next turn, we can cast Lingering Souls, and if he tries to Mana Leak, we can counter it by sacking our thing. Okay, he's duressing us. Yeah. Unfortunate for us. I guess he probably hits Lingering Souls. I mean, that's all he can hit. But if we draw black, we can flash it back, which I guess is good. But yeah, all these discard spells are pretty frustrating. Second Honor of the Pure is not so bad, though. Makes our owl really big. So this will drop him to 12, and he still has a delta, so he's basically at 11. And we'll play this Hollowed Fountain tapped and end our turn. And our Crusader can't be countered, which is pretty relevant. If he has Thoughtseize here, we'll be kind of annoyed, but it will drop him to 9, and then we'll drop him to 6, so... Engineered Explosives. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Can blow up both of our Honors of the Pure. So we're just going to go ahead and flash this in. Drops him to 7. He is going to crack this probably, but it'll cost him all of his mana, and then we'll still have 3 damage on the table. And maybe we luck out and just draw another Anthem effect. We did not. So we'll hit him for 3. Where's our negate, man? Our Honors of the Pure go away. Drop him to 4. 3 rather. So we have lethal. I forgot this still stays pumped by 1. And we'll play that. And in the turn, see if he has a way to stop us. Oh, I forgot I had freaking Lingering Souls in my graveyard. Should have played my caves and done that. I guess that's what I'll do next turn if he somehow keeps us from winning right here. Terminate on my Crusader. I'd rather keep the Crusader than the Judge's Familiar, so we will counter that. Okay, well, that was a good top deck. We now win the game because of it, so... that is lethal. On to game 3. Don't think we change anything. I like what we have, what we're doing. I need to remember when Lingering Souls is in my graveyard. I forget when I'm not the one who actually casts it, when it just gets discarded from my hand. But that was definitely a game where my opponent starting himself out at 14 or 15 life really benefited us more than it hurt us. All right, we have another very good hand. This time we can actually flash back our Lingering Souls. He may hit our favorable winds early. Yep. It's probably what he hits instead of Lingering Souls since we have the mana for it this time. There goes our favorable winds. Ooh, nice. Yeah, we'll play Hallowed Fountain untapped. And we'll play Judge's Familiar. End our turn. Alright, he goes to 17. He found one thing that he wanted because he put it on top. Ooh, Squadron Hawk's pretty good against this guy. Haven't seen it yet, but we're about to. Do wonder if he sided in some, we'll play this untapped, some board sweepers, but even if he does, we have so many ways of getting like card advantage that it might not matter. So, like, you know, we have 3 Squadron Hawks in our hand. It'd be great to have an Anthem effect so that our creatures on the table were more of a threat. And at least by getting the Squadron Hawks, we increase our chances of making that happening. All right, he's holding up removal of one kind or another, I'm sure. We will attack him down to 14. I think I try to cast a Lingering Souls here. We are lucky in that we can flash it back next turn and play a Squadron Hawk, so I think it's worth it. Alrighty, let that resolve, which is good for us, I think. Could also mean he has Anger of the Gods or something. But even if he does, like I said, we have a Lingering Souls in our graveyard, 3 Squadron Hawks, and a Spectral Procession in our hand, so we're not too upset about that. Ooh, negate. That's what I like to see. We will attack with everything. Taking him down to 10. Then we're going to try to flashback Lingering Souls. And it resolves. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. So if we draw an Anthem effect, we win. We can protect our board from a board sweeper right now with negate. So that feels pretty good. Siding it in against a deck like this is pretty useful, obviously. Pyroclasm. Okay, we're going to try to negate that. See if he has a counter spell of his own to back it up. He may. Okay, he does. But we made him use up his whole turn, and we'll actually also make him pay one more. All right, so we made him use up a whole turn. Unfortunately, we do lose our damage out there. But it's not the end of the world, especially because we can recover pretty quickly. We're going to play Spectral Procession here. Then we're going to play a Squadron Hawk. So we have 4 out there. And we'll end our turn. If he has another Pyroclasm, we will be kind of sad. He does. Alright, so we'll play a Squadron Hawk and another Squadron Hawk. Oh, yeah, we have to wait for that trigger. The annoying thing is if he has Snapcaster Mage, he can just get his Pyroclasm back next turn. Alright, that's interesting. That may mean he's out of counter spells. I mean, or Pyroclasms, rather. That he wanted to counter a 1/1 is kind of strange, is what I mean. May mean he's a little worried about his life total being threatened. Be nice if he used Duress or Thoughtseize right here when we just have 2 lands in our hand. Okay. Alright, that'll be nice for when we do draw some action. Alright, if he's using another counterspell, I'm kind of okay with that. Okay. He's down to 1 card, basically. We know what the other card in his hand is. I'm going to hold on to this Caves of Koilos and bluff. Drawing all of our lands, which isn't great for us, obviously. It'd be nice to hit Lingering Souls right now, because we could go Lingering Souls twice. Okay. Path doesn't seem that good against him, but it could potentially buy us some more time. He keeps holding on to cards, probably has counter spells, Snapcaster Mage, etc. We'll play Honor of the Pure here, if he lets us. Okay, he did. And we'll play another one, which is good because it'll keep them out of Pyroclasm range. So I'll have to counter this. He decided not to, which is interesting. He can counter our creatures, but if we draw something like Lingering Souls, he'll have to have 2 counter spells ready to keep from us having, 4 3/3s in play, which would just be like instant. He'll be dead the turn after we play it if he doesn't counter it. Another Path to Exile. Sided one of them out, but we're still getting them. And it will allow us to exile his win conditions. He could have Tassiger, though we haven't seen it yet. Okay. Too bad it doesn't hit him for 2, like his other one. We'll lose a path. Alright, Judge is familiar. He has to counter that, basically. It's a 3/3, so Pyroclasm's not going to be able to kill it anymore. Neither will Kolagon's Command. So it puts our opponent in a spot where he basically has to counter this. If he uses Snapcaster Mage to do it, we're a little less happy, but well, actually, Mana Leak won't work right now. I keep forgetting it's not a hard counter. Deprive will, though, and he has that. So I think he's deciding whether or not he wants to do that, or if he can stand to take like 3 damage next turn. Which probably means he's going for going for Kolagon's command? I don't think he realizes that he's going to be a 3 toughness creature. Because the command's not going to kill him. Oh no, he just decided to do that. That's pretty interesting. He may have a lightning bolt or something. I could have Path to Exiled in response, I guess. Wouldn't have been too bad. In the turn. Probably should have Pathed in response. Then he doesn't have a dude in play. Young Pyromancer. That's something we would like to path even more. Okay. Oh, I wanted to counter that, but make him pay 1. See what we can draw. Needs to be some action. We don't want to land right now, that's for sure. Here's Tasigur now, so kind of missed our chance. That's not awful. It is a 4-power creature. We can flash it in and kill something, and he can't counter it or lightning bolt it, so we'll hold on to it. Use it to kill the young Pyromancer probably and take a lot of damage. Okay. Not ideal. All right. So he can swing for 4, 5, 6. He can swing for 10. So now we will flash in Celestial Crusader. And we'll block the Pyromancer. Take 8. Probably still dead here. Well, a second one is real helpful. All right, I think we end the turn, flash in the second one. Then we can block Tasigur and a Snapcaster. That'll drop us to 2, but I think it's what we have to do. It's the only way we have any hope, really. If he drops himself to 8 here, we're super happy. Doesn't look like he wants to. Oh, right, he can do that nonsense. Choose a non-land card to return to its owner's hand. I think I'm going to give him Negate. It's the least relevant card right now. Wish he would drop himself to 8 with that Polluted Delta right now. These will both become 5/5s, which is awesome. So we can still kill him next turn, actually. So if things go our way here, meaning he doesn't have removal or a way to burn us, if he has Lightning Bolt, then we're dead. We can win on the next turn. All right. Now, I think we have to give him Duress, which will give away what's in our hand, but we'd rather do that than let him draw more cards. And it doesn't really matter that he knows what's in our hand. We can still kill him. Like, if he decides not to swing, we can still kill him. So we'll give him... I guess Mana Leak's pretty irrelevant right now, too, to be honest. Let's give him Mana Leak instead. Duress gives him information. Mana Leak won't really do anything. Like, even if he has 2 Mana Leaks, he can't counter our Crusader because it has split second. So we'll give him a Mana Leak. Glad I sided these guys in. All right, we won. Managed to beat Delver. We did draw pretty well there at the end, but it was pretty fun. That deck's costs a lot more than ours does, so it's always good. Feels good to beat that. Even, you know, we had awful luck in game 1, so it evened out with our game 3, drawing back-to-back Celestial Crusaders. So thanks for watching. I believe this will be the last match on this playlist. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about the deck in the comments. And don't